did say that the Broncos last night had a good chance of sneaking this one because, one, it's a Sunday afternoon in Brisbane where they are usually pretty good in. Two, Cronulla Sharks is coming back. Three, the Broncos are desperate to avoid the spoon for a second year running, and if they win this, they put a 4-point gap over the Dogs because obviously they have the bye next week. I think they're playing okay, but I think the Sharks also, yes, they're a good team, but people saying they're a contending team or they're a sneaky or they're a hot shot to sneak into a top 6 potential role, which a lot of people are saying, because they're only 2 points from Manly if they do win this game. I think they're overestimating it, and they're too much on the hype train of this Sharks team. Just like, everyone's always on the hype train. I say this every single stream. There's a hype train for nearly every single team when they win. Now the Titans win yesterday. Everyone was telling me beforehand the Titans suck ass. They're going to become bottom 4. They're shithouse. They win one game against the Raiders of all teams. I know it's in Canberra. But one game against the Raiders and they win 44-6. And now everyone's saying the Titans are making the 8. And I'm like, well, hold on a second, man. Like, we've won one game literally 2 weeks ago. Like, yes, we've got good signs in regards to halves and bad signs in regards to other halves, yeah? But the point of the matter is that there's a hype train. So you don't want to jump on it too quickly. And that's why I didn't get on the hype train of Manly wooden spoon at the beginning of the year. That's why I don't get on the hype train of Titans absolutely top 8. But then again, I've said that all season and I believe they'll make the 8. And I'm not jumping on the Sharks just yet because they played a Panthers team that had no players in and only just got across the line. They only just snuck it by a field goal, yeah? And nearly got chased down while that happened too, mind you. They played the Titans and they beat them, and they beat them well. But the Titans are a bottom 2, bottom 3 defense, and they did it well. So that's probably the least excused game that they had, the Sharks. That's probably their most convincing win out of the last 4 games, yeah? The one before that was against the Dragons where they won 13-12, and that was horrific by both teams. Both teams looked terrible. But the Sharkies snuck it with, 3 minutes to go in extra time. It was a scuffed game. It was a shocking game between 2 teams that really were terrible that night. And then last week or 2 weeks ago, who'd they play? They played the Cowboys, and they nearly got chased down in the last 10 minutes. And the Cowboys, obviously, what we saw last night, they got beaten 38-0. So I have a lot of question marks about the Sharks over those 4 games. And even if they win this game, it's not even this game that I'm looking at. I want to see them play a Manly, or I would like to see them play even, I don't know, they've played Dragons twice, we can't see it. I'd like to see them play any of the top 6, to be honest with you. Because I think they get beaten by the Roosters. I think they get beaten by a majority of teams inside that top 8. I don't even know how many teams in the top 8 they've beaten, because Panthers I don't really class, because they lost to the Tigers with that same team. They lost to the Tigers with the exact same team. Greasy Game says, but usually the Broncos defense is really bad, and now it's got intensity. Like I've said, they are desperate to avoid that wooden spoon, my guy. They're desperate to avoid that wooden spoon. So this is a big game for them. No one should have expected the Broncos to be easy rollovers here. The Bulldogs will have games like this to end the season at some stage too, because they'll be desperate to avoid the spoon. Holland says, my team sucks without Moylan. Holy shit. So I've been hearing for over a year now that Matty Moylan is part of the reason why the Sharks are shit. Now, the Sharks lose Matty Moylan for one game, and now it's Matt Moylan's fault because he's out, and the Sharks are not good without Matty Moylan. That'll do me, lads. That will do me.